Hey everyone, thank you so much for stopping by today. I have a project today that I did for the Scrapbook and Cards Today blog. I was a guest designer over there on their blog for March 23rd. This is the project that I created, and I'm going to take you through the process today to show you how I made this layout using just some really subtle mixed media and some fussy cutting to create the soft and elegant design. What I started out here with was some basil marshmallow cardstock. I added some Prima transparent gesso to that cardstock and let it dry. And now I'm just taking some Lindy Stamp Gang Magicals and I'm letting those Magicals just run across the or vertically on the paper while I run my heat tool over it, just to create some really interesting dried areas where the pigment really starts to pool. And this is the Pa Pink Lindy's Magicals, and I have really watered it down so that it is super light. I didn't want it to be very dark. I just want the layout to be really soft. So I'm just letting that dry. I want to apologize for my voice today. I do have a fairly bad cold. So I know that's probably annoying, but I didn't really have any choice. So I'm just letting that dry a little bit more here. And once that's dry, I am going to take my brush and add some splatters to this as well. So you'll see me do that in a few seconds here. I usually just try to have a baby wipe on hand as well, so that I can sop up some of the Magicals without taking up too much of the pigment. If you use something that's already wet, it will control how much liquid you're picking up a little bit more than if it's just like a dry piece of paper towel or something. So now I'm just going over it again, trying to get that dry, and then I will add those splatters. So I was very honored to be asked to be a guest designer over on the blog at Scrapbook and Cards Today magazine. I'm a huge fan of the magazine, and I was really excited when I was asked to do this. So super fun, and I hope that you will be inspired by my project today. I'm just going to kind of clean up my area a little bit here and add my splatters really quickly. This is really simple. I'm just taking my Vicky Bouton art brush here, watering it down a little bit more, and then I'm just going to tap the brush and create some really subtle splatters. And this product is just really pretty and shimmery. It just looks so nice on here, and I love the effect that you get with the Magicals. Now I am going to cover a lot of this up with some pattern paper, but at the time I wasn't really sure where my pattern paper was going to go. So instead of having to go back after and add more splatters, I splattered generously. Now this is the patterned paper from Oh Happy Day. I will link up to this in the description box, that I decided to fussy cut for my project. So I literally fussy cut that whole entire sheet of paper. I left a tiny little white edge of a border around my little fussy cut pieces. It's really up to you if you did this fussy cutting technique, whether you left a white border or not. It's totally up to you what look you're going for. And you can see there's another Oh Happy Day paper there in that pink gingham that I've torn, and then that's going to provide the edge of the layout. So the first third, going from left to right, will be that torn pattern paper and then the Lindy Stamp Gang. And I'm going to just build my layout from there. I'm going to use probably about half of the fussy cut flowers from that patterned paper that I cut out on the layout, just to create some really dimensional, pretty floral pieces along that torn edge. And I just love this pattern paper and this collection, the Cartabella Oh Happy Day collection. So gorgeous, and it's just beautiful for spring, and I just really loved it for this particular layout. So I'm just going to go along. I'm going to use the edge pieces from the pattern paper for the bottom layer so that I can just stick those in behind that torn edge. And then the pieces that I layer on top of that with foam adhesive will be the ones that don't have that edge on them, that were the part of the edge of the paper, if that makes sense. So now you can see here, I've got these smaller pieces I'm going to add on top. Now I fussy cut both the 12 by 12 paper, and I also fussy cut the 6 by 6 paper. That was the identical paper on the smaller scale, so that I had both large and small florals to work with. Now that word beautiful, or that die cut piece beautiful there, is from the ephemera pack from Oh Happy Day, and the details is from a Pink Fresh Studio puffy sticker phrase sheet from, I think, my favorite story collection. And I use the word details here for part of my title. Now I'm going to take some craft foam and adhere that to the back of my photo. My photo is a 3.7 by 2.7 inch black and white photo with a little bit of a white edge around it. And I'm going to just adhere that down to a piece of pink cardstock paper that was in the 6x6 pad from Oh Happy Day, so it matches all of the pink tones perfectly. I'm going to just stick that down, and then I'll trim that up, and I will adhere that down to my layout. So I'm just going to use my Tim Holtz trimmer just to trim that up. I want just a really simple mat here. Just want to leave a tiny little bit of an edge around my photograph just so you can see a little bit of pink around there, and it just defines the photo a little bit more and just makes it stand out a bit more on the layout, which I like, obviously. I love this photo. It's a picture of my daughter on her wedding day. This is where she came downstairs in her wedding dress and gave her bridesmaids their first look of her in her dress. So it's a pretty special moment, and you can see the look on the girls' faces as they're looking at the back of her dress as she twirls around, and they can see the train and all the details of the lace and the buttons and everything in the back of her dress. So I really love this style of layout for this particular photo, and I just really like how it turned out when it's all finished. So I'm just kind of trying to decide here where I'm going to put the photograph. And I am going to layer up a bunch more of those florals over top of that base layer of florals, just using some foam adhesive. And then I will also embellish with some of those smaller fussy cut florals as well. And then, of course, those title pieces, which I've already mentioned. Now, that puffy sticker set from Pink Fresh also has some hearts on it. And I did add some of those hearts to the layout in 3 different places. I also added a little bit of sewing down the edge of that gingham paper on the side. And that's going to be about it for my layout, other than a few journaling strips, which I add as well using just having used Microsoft Word and some white cardstock. And so, yeah, that's about it. I mean, it came together pretty fast. It is, like I said, a fairly clean and simple layout, but it's just super elegant and pretty, and it just really matches the nature of the photograph that I'm documenting here. So here it is all finished up, and I just want to thank everybody so much for stopping by today. I really appreciate it. I hope you liked this process video. If you did, I'd love to have a thumbs up, and please don't forget to leave me a comment. And make sure you check out the description box below the video for all the details about the supplies that I used today. Have an amazing day, everybody. Here's some still shots for you of close-ups of the project. Bye-bye.